3. Go and throttle up.
Yo, what's up? It's Monday. I'm an hour late. You know, as one does. Also, the volume is super down because of Flame Trench. I'll fix it. Don't hate me. We can fix it by turning up the mixer. Oh, yeah. You're also very quiet. See, shut up. This is why I wanted to move the mixer onto the side of the desk. There was a very good reason for it. Also, my beard is ablated away. I'm sorry. It's ablated. We did it. We tested a beardblation re-entry in the ARC jet, so it's gone. It's gone. It's all gone. It's all gone. Don't worry. We're working on a regenerative heat shield here. It'll regenerate. It's a regenerative ablative heat shield. Don't touch it now, you get ingrowns. I didn't shave, I just trimmed it, dude. The camera doesn't show how much of a 5 o'clock shadow I actually have. But yeah, we just clipped it down. Nah. Eventually I get bored of it, you know. I'm sitting there. I'm like, you know what? I don't like this. You know? Because it's fun. And it'll grow back. It is the cycle of beard life. No more 4K gray hair. Dude, why you gotta call me out like that? I don't know what you're talking about. What do you, what? No, I don't have those. Anyway, I've been on a little bit of a trip. I took the 97 on a huge excursion over the weekend. It was great. What did I do? I went and acquired. Let me see. I gotta look up the model number. Give me 1 second. I went and acquired a Mitsubishi Electric split system heat pump, model number PKA A18HA7. It's a heat pump that's designed for server rooms. Yeah. The HVAC thing, we got the HVAC thing figured out just in time for fall. It's great. It's great. It's not installed yet. It's sitting in my sitting in the pickup bed. So freezer, yes, it is going to be. We could make it freeze in here. That is a Mitsubishi heat pump that is specifically designed for server rooms. You should see the heat exchanger that it has is big. It's no joke. Yeah, heat pumps can work in winter too. They can either pump in heat or pump out heat. It's air conditioning that works both ways, which is great. Flight 11 will be with ship 26, right? No, it'll be with ship 36. Just curious, I went back and watched the Stationeers VOD from Thursday and Friday and was wondering if you can use the same multiplayer logic for the Satisfactory build. Brandon, it's a different game, but that's what I think we're going to end up doing, as we get it more into fall. I will reactivate the Pillar of Autumn project, and I will have viewers help me if you guys want to. I will have viewers help me finish it. Yeah. But yeah, went on a crazy trip. Probably did about 100 miles or about 160 kilometers to and from destination. I got this heat pump for very, very short change here. Let me show you. Let me show you how much these things go for. Oh, I looked up the model number now. Yeah. Okay, so this is a Mitsubishi PKA A18HA7. I'm looking on shopping right now. 2200, 1300, 1600, 2200, 3200 new, 2700, 2400. Yeah, look at all this. Look at all this fun stuff. Yeah, 3298, brand new. I got it for $1,000. $1,000. The whole thing, all of it, the whole thing. Stand, heat exchanger, ductless control with the remote controller. $1,000, dude. New AC. Well, Gieson, this is not an air conditioner. It's a heat pump. So it is an air conditioner. It's just an air conditioner that can go both ways. It can pump heat in or pump heat out. That's why heat pumps are cool. It's a mini split, yes. Why is the flight director playing Space Invaders? That's Galaga. It's not Space Invaders, it's Galaga. In Galaga, they do loops. In Space Invaders, they do not. No, Kuro, my brother-in-law is an HVAC guy, and he got this from a person who upgraded their mini split in their server room. So he had it, and it was short change. So why not a mini split? That's what this is. Yeah, it's $1,000. $1,000. Yep. Yep. You had 2 in Japan. Well, I have 1 in America, bitch. How you doing? Midge, you should be so happy you don't have to do this anymore. This is a pain in the... It's a big pain in the butt, okay? It's a big pain in the butt. Am I right? Am I right? You know. It's a big pain in the butt. How much freaking hair I had all over the freaking bathroom floor? It's ridiculous. Swear again. No. Anyway, so let's play some cities. Let's go. Oh, you want me to get the swear jar to 600? Fudge. Last. What's your last? Ched tip 100K-ish. No. This is So, Blackness, I don't really like telling you guys like too much about my finances. How am I good, Paul? I scored a heat pump. Went on a little excursion with the F-250 yesterday. I got a heat pump for $1,000. It's like a $3,000 heat pump. So, you should be a professional parts scrounger. I know a person who knows a place. Tell me where and when. If it's a junkyard for old cars, I am very specifically looking for 1969 Coronet rocker panels, sedan rocker panels. If we could just find a shell or something, Kuro, I would cut out all the parts that I need. You got your CPU and your GPU for your next build. I'll chill. I know how you feel. Right?
Discovery, go at throttle.
Did you see the SpaceX deal with Echo Star? You're damn right I did. Hey, Force HVAC hype. Yep. We're gonna playing some stationeers in my office. But anyway, you blew a turbo, Paul. That sucks. But Blackness, this chat didn't tip anything for this. This was the money that I was going to allocate to building a computer. I don't have to do that anymore. Your wallet hurts? Yeah. Paul.
Discovery,
6 month resub. Thanks, man. You sure it's been longer? Yeah. With the heat pump, would you be able to heat and cool your office and the garage? It's just for the office for now, Maddie. Just for the office for now. I mean, yes, I'm hearing heat pump's better than computer. Well, the reason, yeah. The reason I got a new computer from chat in the first place is because it got too hot in here and I blew a motherboard. It caught on fire. Ryzen 9950X 3D and an MSI Liquid Supreme 5090. Oh, Mitch. Yeah, I may or may not have looked up the prices for the specs for this computer that chat got me, and oh. Yeah, so let's just say I spent $1,000 on the heat pump and I still have money that I was going to allocate for the computer left over. Probably enough for a lift. That should tell you how expensive that computer is. Does the garage have external shade? No. Well, on one side. It's kind of like tucked back in my backyard and like way back. So it's got the woods on 3/4, dude. 3/4, like there's woods on all sides of the garage. And there's some trees that overhang. They're oak trees, so they overhang the garage just a little bit. To the point where I got to clean the damn gutters out a lot. But the problem is the driveway that goes to the garage. So we're up north, so the sun doesn't necessarily set in the west. It sets like southwest-ish, like due southwest-ish. And in the afternoon, the sun is beating on the door. And the garage door basically becomes a heat sink. And that puts a lot of heat in the building, and because the building's metal, it basically is like an oven. It convects really hard and becomes an oven. Yeah, big pain in the butt. Water-cooled garage door. We could just spray down the door in the afternoon, but that's too much work. We got the heat pump now. It should stay really cool in here now. How's Titan? Is he home? Titan is home. I had a little bit of a scare with him this morning. Nothing bad, just me not understanding how dog work. I went to take him for a I won't say it on stream in case anybody's watching with their dog. We went for a small WALK where he goes, you know, number 1 and number 2. And we had winds over the weekend. There was, the storm that came through on Saturday was nuts. And I guess it broke my screen door, and my screen door got pushed in so hard from the wind that it was overlapping the jamb. So when I pushed it open, it flicked and it made a really loud bang, and Titan got super scared. He went and crawled under the bed and was shaking under the bed. I thought because he has heartworms that I may have given him a seizure, and so I had a bad morning. Turns out he's just a fraidy cat, which is weird because gunshots and fireworks don't seem to bother him at all. That one did, though. Your dog's ears perked up with the spelling? Really? So, yeah, Titan got super scared, and I thought he was having a seizure. It turns out he's just a scaredy cat, which is great. Great. Called the vet. I was like, hey, vet person, is it cool that that's happening? They're like, he's probably just scared, but if this happens for like another 30 minutes, please call us back. I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you, animal people. Click. Yeah, so had a little bit of a scare this morning, but he's all right. Bree wasn't here. She was, she went up into the city for a fun time. Is he scared of thunder? Nope. Not scared of thunder, not scared of fireworks, not scared of gunshots. The door, though, he freaked out. Like, I've never seen him freak out like that, which, like, dude, the dog was in the corner going, like, looking around and stuff, like, and I thought he was having a seizure, because when dogs have seizures, that's what they do. They look around. They're like, and they start, you know, it's like when a person has a seizure. So the bed is a safe spot. D-Dave, 3 months, tier 1, 3 months in advance, 77 total. Thanks, man. I have a rescue and I had to stop your newspaper subscription. Sight of it scares it. Dude, I must have triggered something from his past. And I felt really bad, dude. I felt so bad. Dude, I must have done something. I've never seen a dog do that before. Anyway. City's time? Let's load up Yaksville and go. The unexpected has probably spooked him more than the sound. Dude, he was, yeah, I've never seen the dog do that. I've never seen, yeah, I don't know. Like, and, like, if he didn't have heartworms and stuff, I probably wouldn't have freaked out as much. Like, because, you know, I get it, dogs get scared. I mean, I've never seen him get scared, but since he has heartworms, like, part of the, if heartworms are a parasite that kind of build up in a dog's heart, and they look like worms, right? And the thing is that they kind of congregate there, and if they get too long, they break. And when they break off inside of the heart, it's like basically it's basically like throwing a monkey wrench into a machine. Like the parasite can go down your arteries and the dog's arteries and stuff and clot. And if that happens, the dog can have a seizure. That's why you got to be so careful with Titan, you know? Blood clot shotgun. Exactly. He has to avoid like activity and stuff. So like he was like so scared and I could tell his heart was going and I'm like, oh no. Oh no, I think I just killed him. Oh God, oh God, oh God. But it turns out he was just scared, but still scared the piss out of me, dude. Yeah, all systems. I did get the thing. It was worth dying in summer car for it. It was worth it. It's that's pretty cool. That would be super useful. That'd be super useful for future things. I might end up utilizing it, dude. Thank you. You don't need to do that, but yeah. Anyway, let's get into Yaksville and go. So yeah, I've had a very eventful weekend. It was very crazy. Also, do not mention Formula One, do not mention football, and do not mention baseball. Let's just pretend none of those happened, okay? All right, just between you and I. We're friends, right? And you're cool, right? You want to be cool. Not even, nope. 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 You don't need to mention none of that. Oh, Bill, sorry, I gotta say it. You know what? Wobbs, I don't like the Bills. I'm a Patriots fan. However, I hate Baltimore even more. So, good job. That was hilarious. You know what? Ironically, I'll talk about that. That was awesome. We can talk about that, Wobbs. That's fine. That's okay. We do not talk about the Patriots. We don't talk about the Lions, okay? Frick you, Baltimore! That's right. Right. Nothing makes me happier than seeing the Ravens collapse. My condolences on that NFL game. We are in trouble. We're in trouble. We got a big problem. We actually dig the beard. Don't worry. It'll grow back. Does Titan have meds for heartworms? Yeah, of course. We have to give him a bunch of pills every day, but it's all right. It's okay. It's only temporary. Your Colts beat the Dolphins. Smoked them, actually. Also, we could talk about that note. That's fine. And Roy, 103 months for stopping is the GOAT. You know what, man? I don't mind that part either. Ferrari's just so goddamn mid, dude. It kills me. I don't even have any expectations anymore. Give me 1 second. Yankees beat Toronto. No, Kuro, I haven't. All right, so we are back to Yaksville. This is part 2. Yaksville is our new city that we've started in cities. It was on the Roslyn Peninsula map, which I originally found out about from playing Jack's city, Los Ricos. So I decided to build a city here too. You know, the starting area where you start here really makes sense as to why Jack had such bad traffic problems. For what it's worth. Yeah, those weren't great. I'm good, Jackal. Yeah, we're playing Cities 1 right now. We'll play Cities 2 sometime soon. We'll go back to the Stuttgart. I don't know if the Jets are good this year or the Steelers not great. So should it be before or after the Patriots game? After, technically. What DLCs and mods do you have? Vert, there you go. Anyway, let's get to work. So where did we last leave off? We have a pretty good industrial sector going. I built out a new main boulevard for the city here, and we were starting to increase the pop. Where are we at here? We're at Busy Town, and I do believe when we unlocked Boom Town, I think we got... Oh, we got a bunch of good stuff. Okay. New Yak City. You have any pocket stacks? I don't. Cities 1 music is quite good. So yeah, we just built out the highway here. Instead of having a road that kind of goes left to right there, I replaced it with a pedestrian bridge so people can walk to the industrial sector. And I added a junction here, or the start of a highway junction, right there. And that's attached to our main road. Also, that house is on fire. All right, we're doing good. This is pretty good. All right, so demand is going good here. We have 45,000 in the coffers. 2,000. We're getting 2,000 a month. That's really high. Unless we're subsidizing a project, I don't think it should be that high. So I'm gonna move my tax brackets down to 4 or 5. I'm gonna move it down to 5. Now my revenue will go down. We're at 3,000 population. Revenue will go down, but that should spur demand even more. You know, those people, they go to sleep at night, they think everything's fine, everything's good or not. They wake up the next day and guess what? They're on fire. What is this game? Yeah. Hey Mihai, what's going on? What is this game? This is the capitalist version of Workers and Resources. You know? Actually, Mihai, I will say this, dude. This, going back and playing this now has made me a better Cities player. I'm much more cognizant about what you add to the city. Much more cognizant because, well, let's just say I got traumatized from another game, another city builder, about adding and subtracting things. So over here, I'm going to add a new industrial area. But we do have pretty good demand for industry. So the other thing I'm going to do is make a higher throughput road here. Probably better if we widen out the interchanges. Yeah, you know what? Probably a good idea. All right, let's get some big old industry there. Had any rest during the weekend? Yeah, a little bit, but I went on a road trip, dude. I went on a road trip to get a heat pump for the garage. Or for the office. Let's try doing 4x4 zoning. Let's see if that gets us anything. Wait a minute. Oh, it's because of the road. Yeah, I got it. Feeling better though? I'm fine. I'm good to go. You have to respect the brewers this year, especially oh yeah, pocket staff. Yeah, outdoorsman. Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff, man. They're gonna be a force, dude. How's Bremo and Titan? Everything is good, dude. Yeah, we're good. We're good across the board. Had a little bit of a scare with Titan this morning, but we're all right. That turns out it's just me not understanding my dog correctly. Come on. Come on. Yeah. It's from my brother-in-law, dude. Yeah, he helped me out. Come on. Come on, commercial. Commercial! Commercial! How's Powers? Powers working good. There we go. And that should... Cool. Break for 30. Kabarcha! Alright, there we go. Also last. What difference would 4x4 zoning do? You have a little bit of a finer control over population density. This is actually something I learned from cities too. And I kind of did it by accident. Zoning 4x2 like this gives you a little bit of a tighter population density. Kind of goes with the semi-urban area. You can get tighter population density this way. If you zone 4x4 lots, you zone bigger lots, you get lower density. So the smaller your residential zoning, the smaller the plots are for your residential zoning, the higher density you're going to get. It's kind of a fine control. Now, that it kind of applies to industry, but it kind of doesn't apply to industry, but it kind of does. It just really kind of controls the type of building that gets zoned there. So if we zone a 2x2 like that, or 4x2s, it's going to make a parking lot. It's not going to make like a big factory. It's not going to make a building like this. It'll make a smaller building, like smaller industry, like that. IO 69-month resub. Oh, what's the problem here? Not enough educated workers. Yeah, that'll change. We can boost the school's funding slightly. We just gotta be careful. We gotta be careful about budget right now. We are pulling in some pretty good cash, but we only have 30 G's on hand. I always like to build up a good amount of money in the coffers in case an emergency happens. Oh, that's way too much of a boost. Put this down to, let's go 57 and see what that gets us. Hatching 99 months, almost at a hundo, man. Little train nerd for you in Discord general. Oh. This is near Boone, North Carolina. This particular engine served in Alaska during World War II.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
But they do have the original engine from the ET and WNC railroad service there. It was being refurbished at the time. Ah, it's a Baldwin. It's still pretty cool. Still pretty cool. Excessive, but it's a Baldwin. I'm more of an Alco guy. Electricity is way up, so let's just put that back down to 100%. That wind is supplementing my my coal power plant. Kohler plant! I mean, they make toilets. There we go, perfect. I still have a bunch of space-related stuff to send you. Anything else you'd like in a care package? Strop waffles? Yeah, strop is fine. They perform coalery. Yeah, I know, Chris. It's pretty funny. Alright, we got higher residential demand now because I built out my industry a little bit, so we'll zone in that lot. Okay, bye. This busy corner office is looking for well-educated people. Must be a Starbucks. That was a joke. Yeah, totally, we did. We got rid of some of it. Oh, God, all systems. Why you bring that up? I think we're good to expand a little bit more. Yeah. After I said it, I'm like, that was, yeah, all right. You know, that was, oh, no, nobody lives there. Ah, yes. Laundromat. Alright, so let's zone out some industry here and see how that all plays out. I'll zone 4x2, I'll show you the difference. This was basically open zoned except for right here. It's gonna zone a different type of building. You know, I think with industry it just makes different types of businesses. But oh yeah, set maze. You like that? The Prince of Darkness says hi in YouTube chat. Hello. Hello, Mr. Darkness. Darkness. I think this is the fourth time I've been back and forth from Kalamazoo to Mitchell, South Dakota over the last couple of weeks. And you know what? I'm fine with it. Yeah, that's fine. Jared estimates space travel for Joe Schmo in 5 to 10 years. I mean, Hellfish, I told you. 2028 for a human rating starship. 2028. I've said that many times. Yeah, Chris, you gotta generate more power. That's important. Oh no, the Starbucks went under. Oh no. As a European, the city has triggered me 2,458 times in one site. What's wrong with it? It's efficient. It's efficient and it flows traffic. Ain't nothing wrong with this design. You just don't like grids. You're a gridist. The only reason you're playing Cities 1, the reason is I felt like it. Yeah. Hi. The reason is I felt like it. I promise Set Maze to make the city look a little bit more organic, okay? Right now, this is Consider this minimum viable product city. This is just enough to get everybody really nice and happy, and go from there. What was my garbage budget? All right, we can throw it down a little bit because I made another recycling center. What's our processing capacity? 86, 89 to 72,000. Okay, so we do need to up that budget to, let's set it to 105, see what processing versus production is. That's not great. Can't build another recycling center. Move it to 110. 78. It's not enough. Even if we set our garbage budget through the roof for right now. Yeah, it's not enough. You won't like his comments on Constellation, though.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Constellation, look, you can say whatever you want about Constellation 15 years down the road, but Constellation was the right move for the time. Like, I'm sorry, it was. It was the right call. Heck, I saw somebody on X the other day make a pretty damn compelling argument for the space shuttle at the time. And had NASA followed through with it, we would already have stuff like Starship anyway. Had they followed through, not gotten cold feet after Challenger. In fact, if the shuttle program was ever funded properly, it would have been a disgustingly potent on-orbit tool. Probably like I said, the spacecraft design is ace. They broke the mold when they made that thing, dude. Anarcho Apple. 41 months. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing just fine. He equated it to SLS trying to use P-51s. He equated it in SLS to trying to use P-51s in Desert Storm to keep the lines open. Put it to SLS and trying to use P-51s in Desert Storm to keep the lines open. Explain. So, does it work? You guys know what that is, right? Well, I mean, it says it right there. That's an A1 Skyraider. If you guys don't know what an A1 Skyraider is, the A1 is kind of the next generation of it was a design, a very good design. It was a very well designed plane, but it was designed for World War II. Okay, it was a World War II design that came in too late for the war, but the design was so good it served very well in the close air support role. This plane's like kind of would fulfill the same role as a P-51, or not a P-51, a P-47 or an A-10. And the design was so good, right, that they said, yeah, no, this is good. We should just keep making this. And they made them, and they served almost all the way to Desert Storm. Not a lot of people know that. Look, 45 to 57, retired 1985, 1973. They went well through into the Vietnam War. Not a lot of people know that. So there are case scenarios where the exact analogy he says for being a wrong thing actually worked. Do you know what the analogy is? The analogy is that we had nothing else like that. We had nothing else like that. There was no plane that was able to do what an A1 could do. Do you know why? We didn't see, everybody thought you wouldn't need an airplane like this going into the early parts of the Cold War. You don't need a propeller plane. You don't need a slow ground attack plane. We don't need that, right? It was seen as not needed. And yet it was one of the most effective planes in Vietnam because it could fly very slow and attack ground targets in the thick canopy and not be able to, you don't have to worry about like flying too fast. You don't have to worry about stalling the plane. It was great for ground attack. So I do get what Rook is trying to say, Hellfish, but also there are case scenarios where the exact thing he is making an analogy about you could use it in favor of SLS instead of against, which is very interesting. I find it very interesting that he'd make that argument in the first place. He was saying that in a context of never building things like the F4, F-15, etc., etc. But we did. And we should. Guys, that plane was taking off from the same aircraft carriers as an F-4 Phantom. And an F-105. Actually, I'm not sure if the F-105 is a Navy plane. No, I don't think it is. F-105s are Air Force. But you get the idea. Here, let me show you a more apt analogy. That plane was taking off from the same aircraft carriers as this. The A5. The reason why I chose the A5 is because the A5 is absurdly cool looking and a very underrated airplane. Like, if you just look at the juxtaposition of an A5 on an aircraft carrier with a, you know, there's an A4 over there, there's an A7 over there, and then A1 Sky Raiders, right? Look at those airplanes comparatively. This thing looks like something from the 90s, but it's not. It was something from the 60s. Plane very far ahead of its time, in my opinion, but it doesn't matter. There's no reason we can't do all of those things because different rockets have different roles. And to say that, oh, this rocket doesn't have this role. Okay, what are you going to replace with it? What are you going to replace it with? Starship? Starship can't do a like 8 kilometer a second trans-Jovian injection in one shot. It can't. Can't do that. SLS could do that. Basically, what I'm saying is that I kind of agree with him and I kind of don't. I think SLS will serve a very good role in a science probe front once Starship gets up and running. I do agree that once Starship gets up and running, NASA should just buy Starships wholesale from SpaceX. But that's going to take some time, and NASA needs to go now. Remember, now all of a sudden they need to be expedient, which is hilarious because that is the exact opposite of what they've been doing for a good while. But I don't know, man. I mean, I guess I get what he's saying, dude, but... Oh. We need to up our electricity. Put it to 100%. That got us in the nominal range, but we could still have rolling blackouts. Yes and no, goalie, but yeah. The A5 was the United States Navy's hedge in case submarine-launched ballistic missiles didn't work out. Yeah, makes sense. Kyle, 38-month reset. I feel obligated to fill this out each time. Hi. You could just say hi in it, Kyle, but yes, hi. The A5 reminds me of an early prototype of an F-15. Very similar. Or an F-14. I don't even know if that's necessarily the case here. Hold on. Well, North American made it, so... Yeah, that would be a North American design. I definitely, you know, it's North American, so I'm not sure if it had a lot to do with Grumman, right, Rarest? But I look at that thing, and you can absolutely tell that thing was designed by the same people that made this. Like it's like a theme almost, right? Look, just You can absolutely tell that was designed by the same dudes. Like, it's funny. It's like themed parts in KSP, like C7 parts in KSP versus Rocco Max parts in KSP. You could absolutely tell. Check trash budget. Capacity moved up to 90,000. Oh. Why did we have that spike in trash? The Starbucks went out of business. I don't understand. Bit of potato, but can you see it now? Well, yeah, of course. I definitely see the F-14. Guys, I never said I didn't. I could definitely see F-14 there. But also at the same time, it's not even made by the same company. Maybe they got influenced by it. I don't know. That happens all the time. Like how McDonnell Douglas stole the F-18 from Northrop. Yeah, here. We could talk about this. We can talk about this sometime, but if you look at an F-20, Northrop's F-20, look at the wings. Those are F-18 wings. But the F-18 is McDonnell Douglas. So how the heck did that happen? McDonnell Douglas basically went to Northrop and said, guess what? We're going to make this plane, and we're going to keep making it, and it's your design, and we're going to make it, and there's not much you can do about it. Funny, right? Here, let's see if it says it in here somewhere. Yeah, that design led to the YF-17. There you go. Look. Northrop, again. The YF-17. Look at that. What does that look like? Huh. That's weird. Last time I checked, Northrop wasn't McDonnell Douglas. Very weird. It's very weird how that plane... That's strange. Huh. Though the YF-16 won the lightweight fighter competition, the Navy was skeptical that an aircraft with one engine and narrow landing gear could be easily or economically adapted to carrier service and refused to adopt an F-16 naval derivative. On 1975, the Navy announced the selection of the YF-17. Since the lightweight fighter did not share the design requirements of the VFAX, the Navy asked McDonnell Douglas and Northrop to develop a new aircraft from the design and principles of the YF-17. On March 1st, 1977, the Secretary of the Navy announced that the F-18 would be named Hornet after the characteristics of the hornet insect. Northrop had partnered with McDonnell Douglas as a secondary contractor to capitalize on the latter's experience in building carrier aircraft, including the widely used F-4 Phantom. On the F-18, the two companies agreed to evenly split component manufacturing, with McDonnell Douglas conducting the final assembly. McDonnell Douglas built the wing stabilizers and fuselage, while Northrop built the center and aft fuselage and vertical stabilizers. McDonnell Douglas was the prime contractor for the Navy versions, and Northrop would be the prime contractor for the F-18L land-based version, which Northrop hoped to sell on the export market. Crazy, huh? Educated workers again. Nah. We're right in the nominal range of eligibility right there. Just gonna dump down the budget because our capacity is way above eligibility. Actually, we could dump it down to 0 almost. Nope. Let's go to 53. Bingo, right on the money. Perfect. All right, we got residential again. Anyway, planes are cool. I like planes. You guys like planes? Figured you guys probably wouldn't be here if you didn't. All right. Taxes are down 5%. Good, good, good. Oh, it's zone 2 2x2s there. Oh no, no, it made it as 1. Even though that house is, but whatever, doesn't matter. Getting good demand across the board. RCI is right in the center, nice and healthy. The key with this, guys, and I talked a lot about it in part 1. Key with building a city. This can work in cities 1. It works in cities 2. Heck, you could even apply this mentality to workers and resources too if you really want to. You gotta go slow. Just go slow. There's no need to rush. I mean, I can't imagine people play city builders for the instant gratification. But, yeah, if you do, that's not really how you do that. Planes are cool. If only there was this one popular flight sim that EJ never does anymore. Why you gotta be like that, man? Why you gotta be like that? How's your day going? Fine? I mean, to be fair, you can grow fast if you really want to. You can grow fast in this game. It's totally doable. But the problem with growing fast like that is that you're, you know, think about it like if you have a rubber band, okay? You take your rubber band and you slowly pull on it, right? Slowly pulling on it is going, you're going to be able to extend that rubber band pretty dang far. But if you take the band and do the same thing and rip it apart, it's going to snap back and it's probably going to break. In this analogy, the rubber band breaking would be like a death wave or traffic or something that's basically going to make your city not work as good. Well, you do trams. I was thinking about trains. We have trams unlocked, but I don't think we have trains. 9,000. We need 9K pop to do that. This is more of a truck-oriented design. Yes. What is this stuff down here? Hotel Oasis. Mid-century inspired hotel complex, variant B with swimming pool. Variant A. Palm Springs. These are all part of DLCs and stuff. Did you know that in Swedish there is no word for the? I didn't, but I do now. What's the upkeep on this? $240 a week. We're operating at $1,000 a week. Cost $17K. What's the net positive at this? Visitor capacity 2,500. Let's see if that... I'm just genuinely curious what that does, if anything. Electrical consumption is going way up. Did you know that in Finnish, Topless Gun is referred to as the guy with the car? Dude, that freaking... Fellas, quick side note. Did you see the patch notes for my summer car? Homeboy, up out of the blue, had an update the other day. Out of the blue! One of the patch notes to the damn upgrade is that highway cars should now be able to avoid stationary player vehicles. That is the exact thing that got me killed in the last summer car save a couple of days prior to this. This motherfricker watches the stream. You did that to spite me, you piece of shit. What the actual frick? What are the odds of that? Reasonable crashed out. Yeah, what the hell am I talking about? Come on, man. I saw that this morning and went, come on! Headcanon, he had that fix ready, but deliberately wanted to implement it until after he got to watch you get smeared. Oh. We're gonna have to do it. Now we gotta fire back. You know how I'm gonna fire back? We gotta do a summer car. Like, we gotta power play summer car. I've decided. Last playing content update for the game, by the way. That's what he said last time! We gotta power play MSC to spite this guy. Dude, is that a pizza planet? I don't know what mod I have that does that, but I like it. Switch to MSC. Nah, we got cities to play. I want to though. The Claw's our master. The Claw chooses who will go and who will stay. What you're saying is that you lost so hard you managed to make the dev revive the game to fix your problem. Why you gotta say it like that, Wartos? Why you gotta say it like that? It's me. Hey, quick KSB question. Is CCAN from GitHub still the go-to for mods? As far as I can tell, yes. We'll play MSC tomorrow or something, dude. Yeah, I want to play Cities and I want to play Stationeers after Space News tonight. Am I wrong? You're not wrong, you're just a... I stopped beef too. No, I stopped beef too. No, I stopped beef too. Didn't say that right. Let's get in here and start painting out this terrain. What's wrong with Cities 2 compared to the first one? Nothing. I just felt like playing Cities 1, dude. Yeah, we're probably going to have to put them back up. Probably going to put these back up just a little bit. We can put them back up to 7% for now. It spurred the growth that we want. Is it ever not going to be wet in this save? It just rains all the damn time. Yeah, we got to build up some money in the coffers, guys, so we just kind of have to let the world go by for a little bit. Carry it, Kato. Right. Full day for summer car on Wednesday? Well, then we're never going to get to work on the real summer car. The threat of tsunamis caused shutdown of nuclear power plants worldwide. Highly polluting coal power is deemed a better solution. Hashtag backpedaling. Buddy, if I could build a nuclear power plant, I would. Why would the game make a message like that when... Fine, just have no power, ever. Maybe it was a German message. I'm not saying nothing, Tommy. You know what I mean? I'm, just keep my mouth shut. I ain't saying nothing, dude. Nothing. What I am doing is I'm gonna start landscaping over here because I want to build out a port. We'll start dredging for port expansion. Seriously though, if we do get whaled on with a tsunami, we're gonna have a really bad time. Now the game wanted me to add a fishing pier. Smelly smell that smells smelly. Anchovies. And there's salmon in the rivers. Interesting. Interesting. Wait, how much was that thing? I probably shouldn't have made that so spur of the moment, but... Hey, it was only 8 grand. Now they need a fishing route. Can they fish whatever water they want? I didn't know that. You don't have... You can fish... You can fish waters that aren't technically out of the map. Or that are technically out of the map. I did not know that. That's actually pretty handy. I didn't know that. Off topic, Google search 2006 Ford Falcon F6. Mm. 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 Yeah, Ford just replaced the Crown Vic with that. They probably would have sold a lot more of those. Oh yeah, yeah, that's a sweet car. Oh, they even make a Ute. I mean, it's not anything I didn't know, but just haven't looked at one in a little while. Yumfit, my weekend was good. I got a heat pump for the office. I got to install it, but nice, dude. Yeah. So why does this thing say fishing route incomplete? What have I not completed here? Oh, the game was just paused. I got it. All right, so there's this thing with these with this stuff. What I like to do is just I like to screw around with the move it tool and place this stuff in a way that makes it look like the dock should be there. Like, I don't like how it places the whole building out on a gangway. It makes it look ridiculous. So what they would do is just see right around the dock right there, they would dredge it. They would dredge that like that. That's how this would work in real life here. See? Like that. There. What I want to do is we're looking to diversify our revenue streams here. So I will make my main road turn and go towards this. What I'm thinking is grab our slope tool. Get our slope tool, run out of money. Have the fish depot get flooded because I just screwed that up. These are part of the steps, dudes. Got to I like zoning the smaller industrial buildings. We can zone a 3-er on the end. Yes. Have you seen the green monster hat? Love the hat. Have you seen the green monster hat? You grabbed one. Oh yeah, I wore the Sox hat today. Yeah. The green hats are cool, man, for sure. I think the green uniforms are the City Connect green uniforms are way better than the yellow ones. The yellow ones are cool, but we need to stop losing the damn Diamondbacks, Rooney. We took one from them, but yeah. Give me 1 second. Anyway, yeah, Rooney, they got it. The Diamondbacks took 2 from us, which is not cool. I mean, but then again, it's okay for now. As long as Roman Anthony gets some rest and stuff and we're ready for the postseason, I'm kind of fine with it. EJ, have you looked at your graveyard TXT lately? No. Illness. I haven't. It's over 20. Easily over 20. Watch F1. No. I know the results. I didn't watch it though. Wiener car. Where? Oh, yeah. Oh, look at it. And if it's a Fenway Frank Rooney, it's going to cost you $10. Dude, have you seen my car? No, where's your car, dude? Oh, I thought that was traffic. That's just street parking. Made a terrible mistake of buying gluten-free $10 Fenway Frank at the game. Just go to the Yard House or Wahlburger or something and just, I mean, even that one. I mean, everything. Dude, at this point, you're not getting a cheap meal around Boylston Street, dude. That's just not happening. That's just not in the cards. You know what I'm saying? Opinion on team orders on McLaren. I don't generally like team orders, Mihai, but I didn't really have a problem with them like 20 years ago when Ferrari won all the time on team orders. but also I kind of don't like team orders. Does that make sense? Oh, big bite. Heck yeah, big bite. Look at that. Oh, yeah, man. We're making suburban hell right here. This is fantastic. Or something. Oh, just one off. Crap. Couldn't put a parking lot there. That's a shame. Nope. 74-month resub. Truthful's worst nightmare. To be fair, Nova. Okay, 1, this design's efficient. 2, I understand the distaste for tracked mansions, but there's a reason why we build them. They work. 3, cities does not incentivize you to build anything other than this, at least right now. You want to hire, you have to have your city succeed before you can go build cool aesthetic things. There's no, it is a little bit more challenging to build aesthetic stuff and make a city that's profitable, at least in the interim time. I don't like doing that. I'll build the big cool stuff later. I just wanted to crack the joke. Yeah, I got you. I know what you're saying. First, you gotta get the money. Then you get the power. Then, you get the highways, chico. Pretty sure a baby could have called a better game than how Michigan called against the Michigan-Oklahoma game. Oh yeah, maybe. Alright, we got enough money to finish this project. Make it, gonna have enough cash. So I'm sloping this for a number of reasons, but the big one is because it looks cool. All right, excellent. Now what we gotta do is make a road. First of all, it ain't gonna let you upgrade that road, which is a little ridiculous. Second of all, I have the move it tool, so it's counting it as one thing. Hold on. You used to be able to move the roads away. Nope. Counts as one entity. Okay, no big deal. So in order to do this right, I need to make that one tick longer, right? And then we go with the road that way. And then we make this road one tick longer. And that should keep my grids all nice and lined up. Excellent. So here's what we do now. Now, we go over here like this. We're going to build a nice curve that connects my beautiful fish pier, and we open the fish pier, and it's out of power. And it's out of power. There we go, and now they're gonna fish. Now they're gonna find the fish. May I ask what happened to the lions yesterday? I'd rather you didn't. Just. Alright, so now we're gonna plan out what we want the rest of this to look like. So I'm going to use dirt roads for planning because they're good for that. Now, we had 2 blocks there without an entrance, so let's go. So there's going to be an interchange. Just doing that so we can, for continuity, so I can see it. Might be expanding a little too hard here. If we got whaled on with a disaster, we're basically toast at this point. So, you know, just like Summer Car, I'm going to eat my words. And that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun to do. You know, you guys will all laugh at me for breaking my own rules. You know, it's a good time. Smell that, Marv? It's freedom. No, it's fish. It's freedom, and it's money. Okay, it's freedom. It's fish. The fish port also needs water. Yeah, I see that. Hang on, gotta do some slight modifications to this road to get it to curve a little bit better. There we go. I find that if you make the straight parts of the road first, the grids come in a lot nicer. Let me put it that way. Now, when we go to make this, see, look at the grids. The grids are pretty dang lined up. We don't have anything that looks weird. Just a little bit of artifacting on the grids right there. But for the most part, that'll afford us to make a bunch of nice lots here. Not that I'm gonna make them there. They're gonna be this way, but it's okay. That avenue doesn't look straight. What is this, communism? We're almost to Busy Town. Okay. Now, the reason why I did this, guys, the big reason, is because if you, I said you really don't want to build for, you really don't want to build for aesthetics in the beginning, but you can basically slow roll it. You can slow roll your aesthetic builds as you progress further and further. Now, I am keeping my taxes at 7. I'm keeping them a little bit higher because I simultaneously want to spur growth here. If people want to move to a place with low taxes, and I also want, but I also need the capital to expand. So we're not going super low, but we're not going super high either. Put that down there. That should get us the energy output that we're looking for. But we can also make money off the fishing industry here too, which is great. Yeah, Dink, the lack of flexibility. I like the way Workers does it personally. Like, I don't know, screw me, right? Okay, that works. Now, the cool thing about this is that this should be pretty easy to expand. If we wanted to make the next grid, but we wanted to make it curved, we extend a road there, we extend a road there. We attach a road there, and we don't necessarily need to attach a road here. We could just go like that. And now, that grid didn't come in exactly how I wanted. It was close. Yeah, there was just a slight offset. This is what I don't like about this. It's okay. Because the radius is getting bigger, what we can do is add there and add there. And then if we do the same thing, there you go. There's our grid spots. Once again, I'm trying to keep it so it's still zones 4x2s. We probably could have done the same thing for this road and gotten better grids. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that, we're going to take this road, and I'm going to go in one. We'll go one grid spot in, and then on this outer road, we'll go in 2 grid spots. See how the little nubbins roads, they're a little bit different. Keeping the same, holding the same radius of curve, that should get us what we're looking for. And it got us about the same. I don't know. Well, the reason is, like, you're not going to do much with that type of zoning right there. Like, I'm not going to be able to keep the zoning concurrent. I can't make my grid go around the corner, you know what I mean, with this type of housing arrangement when the grids are all screwed up like that. There are tricks around this. Watch. Here's a way to get around it. Go over here, go to your footpath tool, get a dirt footpath, shut off all of the parameters for it except grid, and put that right there. Yeah. Didn't really force it how I wanted it to, but if we go here and we move that and then undo it, it should refresh it. Ah, there it is. Nice. Yeah, filling it in with footpaths is a good way to force the grid to your will. And then if you use the move it tool, just move that and then hit undo. It'll reset it. There we go. That just straight up reset it. Nice. Now we do have a little bit of jankiness right there. It's missing on both sides, and I'm not sure why. That's what we do. Go back in here like this. And remake it. Sometimes you got to make the roads in a certain order to get nice concurrent grids. Now, we can fix this over here, right? Just put these little footpaths in there, boom, fixed it. Sometimes it needs to be quote-unquote refreshed, sometimes it doesn't. Now we have really nice grid squares. So that means I can keep going with my 4x2 zoning kind of aesthetic that I got here, and it'll look good. And I'm using all dirt roads to do this because dirt roads don't basically have no upkeep. 19 cents a week per cell, and they don't cost anything really to make. So now we go back in here, turn on all the parameters, right? There we go. Look at that. Now that right there did screw us up a little bit. Putting that road in. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It seems like the road is what screwed it up, but that's okay. Once again, just get in there with the footpath, shut off grid, and just plop those down. And now people have a place to walk, you know? Like, oh, look, you got a nice walking footpath next to the road. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Oh, God. Oh, geez. There we go. More or less uniform. Over here is a nightmare of grid zoning. We got to fix that. Ah, perfect. City's just going along, doing its merry thing. Excellent. We're making some good cash off that fishing industry. Actually, I'm not sure. It might be under specialized. The fishing industry is operating at a loss? Question? Oh. Well, we're subsidizing it right now, but give it some time. Doesn't fencing block off zoning too? Fences would do it, yep. Ah, there we go. It updated the moment I closed the panel, because of course it did. I don't like how it deletes the boat when it gets back in here. It would be cool if, like, you know, it'd be a pretty cool game mechanic if you had a dock, right? And if you have demand for fishing, so like if your buildings demand it, right, the dock will scale procedurally outwards, right? So it'll add more berths for more fishing ships. And if the port is popular and fishing is popular, it'll expand it'll just kind of grow by itself. The building will like level up, so to speak. Kind of like how the residential buildings level up by themselves too. I think that would be kind of cool to do something like that. Thanks, Gemwa. Hey Raiden, what's going on? Leave the irregularities, it gives the city character? I got a plan, dude. Don't worry, don't worry. I got something. I got something in mind. How are things going, and do you have all the DLCs for the game? Think so? That'd be cool, but they'd have to make a harbor footprint as large as the largest version. I mean, that just means you gotta put it in a spot that doesn't have a coastline near it, but yeah. And I wish the ships kind of stayed in port. Like, if there's a ship that's quote-unquote done, like, it would offload. Kind of like, see, that's where, you know, this game can learn from workers. You know what I mean? Oh, dude, there's a water source over there. I never noticed that. See the water flowing out of the rocks? We can have fun with water sources, dudes. Just saying. Have a look at this new building that you can't afford. I mean, that you unlocked. Medical helicopter depot. Why would I need a helicopter depot for a town of 4,000 people? Yeah, Kyron, now you're thinking with portals. 12 Gs. 13 Gs. That's fine. We're gonna have to do some surgery over here, but we have a mountain water source up here. Gonna have to do some surgery, you understand? I want to do something similar to what I did with Jack's map, but that's gonna require doing some pretty hefty relocation of the highway. It's going to be a hell of a project, which is why I bought the area now. What I want to do is make this into a reservoir. I want to make a reservoir, so we're gonna have to reroute the highway. The highway is gonna have to go over here and then go that way, because I want a hydroelectric dam. Wait a minute, what is this? Hold up. Please hold. Natural resources. Ah. You said anything about oil, Panther? You cooking? Oil? 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 So, like, maybe we could, you know, like, make it, you know, over here. Oh, there's ore over there, too. I do have unlimited resources on, because I hate that you place down an oil well and then 6 months later it's dry. That is a waste of money. If you place down the oil well and hope that it's going to make you profit, right? That doesn't really work. Oh, there's oil over there in that goo lagoon. Can we buy that? Oh, dude, this map has so much potential. You could do so much good stuff with this thing. Yeah, we got all the way down to the peninsula over there. That's a farming thing that I wanted to place. Because there's some good farmland there. There's also good farmland over there. So that's a gigantic oil well. So how would we make this reservoir? We could divert. We could redo the highway and the train tracks, and we could divert the river this way and build the reservoir over here. Right? So it goes around the oil. You know what? Quick, to Google Earth, I need some reference. Oil. This map kind of reminds me of Southern California-ish. It's not. I mean, the map in cities is tropical, and I wouldn't call Southern California that. But let me kind of look and see how they did this. So that's the LA River, right? What they did with the LA River is they basically concreted the whole dang thing. The reason why they did that, I know somebody's going to look at that and say, why did you do that to that river? The reason why they did it is because California has this thing. I mean, it hasn't happened a lot lately, right? But they have this thing where you can get torrential rainfall and you get flash floods coming from the mountains. So what they did when they were originally working on the irrigation for this in like the 20s and the 30s, right? What in the 1920s and the 1930s, what they did is they basically built the river as wide as like their like what's the nightmare scenario, right? What's the nightmare scenario? So they build the river to be that wide. So that's why the river has this huge embankment on either side, because the designers of this took into account the flow rate. Like, okay, what happens if like the dam breaks upstream or something? That's an absolute insane amount of water. All of Southern California is engineered like this. It's engineered to basically divert an entire flash flood. So if you're looking at this and going, wow, that looks ridiculous. Well, yeah, exactly. But also it's there so people don't die. You know, don't want that. Like if you follow the LA River, it goes up through Burbank up here. Does it go from there? See, there's diversionary canals right there. Goes up here. And then it goes this way. And then it leads to spillways that come from the mountains. Follow that one. Yep. Huge dam, huge levee. See that? That's what I want to do. Something like this. And they landed a shuttle in it. Dumped it. That's not... I only know that thing from GTA 5. Well, if you follow it in GTA 5, it leads to something like this too. Look, that's a huge man-made engineered berm. It's in the estuary that's coming from the mountains. See? All the natural spillways. All the natural spillways when you get... So the reason why you get a ton of rainwater in the mountains from Los Angeles is because in the wintertime, well, actually all year round, it snows up there. We're talking about a 3,000 feet difference, or about a 1,000 meter difference. It snows up there in the high desert. And when all of it melts, it all comes crashing down through here. Actually crashing down, unless we do something about it. Now, the reason why they did that, one, is because you don't want your city underwater. That's not cool. Two, the civil engineers that kind of put this all together, that designed this, thought about it for a second. They're like, wait a minute. It only rains in you only get basically torrential rainfall in the wintertime. Other than that, right, this becomes a huge, it's basically a desert. So what they thought is like, okay, if we dam up all the water coming from the mountains, we dam up all the water, right? And we basically control the flow rates through the rivers and not just have it become a spillway, right? You can A, generate power with hydroelectric dams, and B, you can have running water all year round. You don't need to worry about it. It's basically like in Timberborn. You guys ever played Timberborn? You build a gigantic reservoir. Same idea. Build a huge reservoir and have it just meter your flow rates. Now, once again, all the dams and all the reservoirs in California are built with emergency spillways in mind. See that over there? It's built with a spillway. So if for any reason the water flow exceeds the maximum flow rate of your dam here, right, it'll start channeling into the spillway passively, right? I mean, well, this particular one, it'll go into the spillway passively. Some of them don't have passive spillway control, but most of them do, right? And that right there is why, if you go all the way back over to the LA River, right? Go look at the Los Angeles River. That's why the river has those gigantic embankments. Why they dug that river down and made this huge concrete berm to handle maximum flow rates. What's theoretical max, right? Like all the flow rates from all the dams, or if the dam has a problem and has to vent the spillway, or God forbid it breaks, right? There you go. You can deal with the problem. It doesn't cause a problem downstream. It'll just flow through the river. The LA River is designed for tremendously high capacity. But if everything is going well, there's a little central channel right here, right? That actually is just dirt, right? And if everything is going well, you should have a metered flow rate, and the river should always be flowing the same amount. If you get flooding or something, it'll go up higher, like what you see in the picture. But it's actually super smart. Like, this is ingenious. It's really, really well designed. Another interesting thing, look how it opens up for the corner. Anybody know why? Why would you make the river wide? Why not just continue with this berm design? Why would you widen it out and make the walls flat instead? Oshidash, you got it. Momentum. If the water was flowing down the river at a really high flow rate, i.e. filled to the brim, and you had a banked corner right here, like that, guess where the water's going? It's going this way. Like if you tip a glass over, same idea. The momentum, the angular momentum of the water will make it go that way. It'll flood. That's why they widen the river to decrease flow rate, right? If you widen it out, right, you have the water going through a smaller channel, and then you widen the channel, your flow rate decreases. And then with the vertical wall, it'll never spill over. Make a river curve. Smart. Real smart. That's really, really well thought out. And if you notice, the supports for the bridge go with the flow of the river. That's not anything weird. Everybody does that. That's all over the world. You don't need your supports going this way. The hydraulic pressure will take the bridge with it if the river floods. So if anybody falls in, they get sacrificed to Cthulhu? Oh, yeah. Now, see over here, look. Same idea, but they widened it. They widened it instead of building a vertical wall. I don't know why it would widen it there instead of doing that, but you see, it's really smart stuff. This is the kind of stuff, because Cities 1 has dynamically flowing water. It absolutely does. It's just in slow motion. You could do this with Cities 1, and it'll figure it out, too. It'll do it. I want to build stuff like this on this map, if you guys don't mind. I'd like to do something like that. There's a spillway coming from here. Where does this one go? This looks like it goes over towards Pasadena. Oh, of course it goes through the golf course. But you see, even these smaller diversionary spillways are still made with the same thing in mind. This was probably just a little brook that was probably like maybe a meter wide. But if the rainwater comes, that brook turns into a river. That's why you see all these embankments are for maximum flow rate. Smart. And the city's kind of built around that. And that's what I mean about waiting a little while before you get into building aesthetics and stuff. Because when you go to plan your city out later down the road, when you go to plan the city out later, you can build cool stuff like this and you can plan around it, and that eventually will give your city a pretty damn organic look. Where did we end up? Over there, okay. All of this stuff is all reservoirs designed to channel water and hold it there. It's designed to drain rainwater and hold it there for drinking water. That's kind of important. Also Dodger Stadium. Yeah, Theodore, right? Exactly. City Planner does some good stuff too. United States Army Corps of Engineers works closely with California flood control agencies to account for 100-year flood events. Flood plan work in California is no joke. I think that's super cool, Shiny. Talk about mastering your domain. That's so cool, man. Should be doing more stuff like this all the time. That's super neat, dude. Not that the USACE isn't, the Army Corps is not that they aren't, right? It's just, that's a hell of an engineering project. You wouldn't think about it, but doing that to that river basically gave LA the lifeblood that it needs to sustain this. How many people live in the picture? In the, like, 15 million people? 16, 17 million people? More than that, dude. How many people are in this picture right now? I mean, that is extremely population dense. How do you keep that? This is essentially a desert, right? If you took all this away, right? You took all of that away, it would look like this. It did look like that. That's what LA looked like pretty much before World War II. It was mostly just farmland. There's even, like, if you go down to Anaheim over here. Where's Anaheim? Where are you? You go down to Anaheim, there's Walt Disneyland, right? So Disneyland's right here. If you look at when Disneyland was first made, it was made out in the middle of nowhere. There was nothing around it. It was just desert for miles. 3.88 mil. That's got to be just Los Angeles County, Acato. There's so much. That's not even including like OC and everything else. There's so many people that live here. Would it be more greenish scrubland on the other side? It's not desert. It would look, you'd be hard pressed to find a part of California that isn't developed at this point. It would look like that right here. So kind of green, but not, but kind of green, but also pretty deserty. Yeah, even over here, something like that. Actually, there's parts of over here. That. Kind of like this. This is a munitions base right here. Fun fact, tie it into space. This munitions base is this was an arsenal base for World War II. So they built a heavy dock. The U.S. Navy built a heavy dock and a heavy port over here. Army Corps of Engineers. They built it in the estuary, right? Now, cool thing, right? Oh, there's an Arleigh Burke there just chilling in this picture. It's probably not there no more. Now, cool thing, if you look over here, they expanded the heavy dock in the 60s. See that? right there. Anybody know what that's for? Let's see how well you guys know your infrastructure. What's that for? It has something to do with space. What happened to the beard? It's ablative. Boats. Well, Linus, you're not wrong. So, I've shown this on stream before, but if you guys haven't seen it, it's pretty cool. Take a look. So, this is a turning radius for something big. Something very big. Something that's 6.6 meters wide. Because getting something that's 6.6 meters wide in here is necessary. Now, if you follow that little road, right, you can see right here that see how the radius is wide right there going onto the street? It's really wide. Why is it really wide? Well, that same 6.6 meter radius thing, it's cylindric and big, needs to go this way. So they have a wider radius. They have a wider radius corner to go around the corner. Now, if you follow this road down here a little ways, right? Follow it down here a little ways. Now, you wouldn't know anymore, but there's an extremely wide entrance to this parking lot right here. See how wide that entrance is? That's because what you're looking at here is Douglas's former Seal Beach headquarters. What did they do here? They built Saturn V third stages here. Every single Saturn V third stage that carried people to the moon was built right there. And that dock is the way they'd load them in ships so they could be transported. You can see that the factory and the processing cells for the S4B used to be right there, but they're not there anymore because... I mean, maybe if we back it up a little bit. Oh yeah, there they are. There's your high bays. Yeah, they demolished all that. It's a nice parking lot, though. You know, I'm sure that's useful to somebody somewhere. But see, we're not going to be doing something exactly like this in cities, but this is the kind of stuff that I want to do, the irrigation control stuff. I think we can do that. How many Saturn V's are left? 3, and they're scrounged from spare parts from the program. There was another radius on the opposite side. That's mostly for turning around. See, what they would do is the rig to move the stage, they'd turn here and they'd back it in. Fun fact, they used munitions transport ships. So right after World War II, the U.S. converted munitions transport ships to basically carry the stages around. So they would back the stage in, right? And then the thing's radius this way so the truck could get out. I mistook the train tracks for a wide turn. All good, man. All good. Shuttle was built in Palmdale. Well, yeah, that's a little ways over there. And you're not moving that thing by a ship. They came up with another good solution for that. But I digress. So, I want to do something like this. Let's do something like that. Let's build a big reservoir. We'll have Yaksville powered off hydroelectric. So now we got to go back in here and we got to figure out where the heck we're going to get that done. We have a water source over there. We have a water source over here. Coming from the mountain ranges. Same idea. What do we do about these? How do we make them? Like, how do we make them look right? Is that for Orion? No. That'd be cool, though. Hey, Alucard, what's up, man? Now, with this one, I was just going to build the big reservoir right here. Like this. I was going to basically follow that. Right? Build a berm that goes... Well, actually, I don't think we can go any further than this. Let me see where the purchasable terrain is. Yeah. So we can't go any further than right there. So we'd have to build a berm that goes over here like that, but that goes over that really, really sweet, juicy oil. Succulent. Why not put the reservoir where circular cover area already is, just right of where you were thinking? We could put it over here. Creeper. Sure. I'm not really liking how exposed that is to the shorefront, though, if that makes any sense. I was thinking of building it over here, diverting this river so it goes this way, right? Building a huge reservoir right here, right? I mean, we'd still have to somehow relocate that highway. That main highway is going to have to get moved. Or, at the very least, we can redo it and make the river, just like the LA engineers did. They basically re-engineered the river to go wherever the heck they wanted. We can do the same thing here. What's stopping us? The only thing stopping us is cash, which we already make a lot of. We could sit here and keep the game unpaused. We could keep cranking out money for a long time. Well, we're just slowly expanding. When you see me building highways, get the frick out of my way. That's right. Exactly. Let's just keep that unpaused. Is there any particular instance where infrastructure... We got to look for a place where infrastructure gets diverted due to irrigation. There's 14. Well, in this particular case right here, irrigation got diverted because of infrastructure. Somebody made the same engineers, the same civil engineers made the river go over a mountain, by the way. Yeah. Seriously, that's downstream water that actually gets pumped up over this hill and then gets pumped down. They made a stream go over the hill because they put train tracks and roads and everything over here. Yeah, it's very strange seeing a river go over a mountain. But, yeah, that's the kind of cool stuff you see in Southern California. What's going on over here? Was this a pit mine or something? Is it a pit mine? I don't even know what that is. What are we looking at here? Hold on, let me Google Earth this. What are we looking at? Hey, Jigsy. During the spacewalks, Jared's heart monitor burnt out because of the radiation. RIP. Magellan more residential development? Is that what they're doing all this grading for? Oh, yeah. Well, what? No, this can't be that. There's a way station here. See the way station? Clearly it's something that's been here because there's cuts. See that? See that step thing? The stepping that's going on? That's not natural. We made that. I don't know if it's a landfill. It might be. It might be a landfill that they're... Yeah, there's some... Yeah, that's a dump. Pretty sure. Yeah, that is a non-permeable layer there that they're dumping trash onto. So that non-permeable basically makes it so the trash doesn't... Any trash, like, if it gets wet, it doesn't... Any crap doesn't seep into the ground. Now, once again, people are going to look at that and be like, environmental. Yeah, you don't want that seeping into the water. Because remember, the storm water from the hills, the spillways and stuff is where you get the drinking water from. That's kind of important. So, yeah, I mean, a little bit of an oversight putting your dump up in the mountains where the water comes from, but, you know. Likes it's a dump? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They have, see the non-permeable stuff? That's definitely, yeah, it's definitely a dump. What they're doing is they're layering the trash in and then they're covering it with dirt. I mean, that's what everybody does, dude. Yeah, we're sorry. I mean, you know, what's going on? It looks like a lot of the irrigation infrastructure was built with the highways. See, this is definitely a reservoir right there. And it definitely has a levee that was man-made here. And it definitely is in the spillway from that river. See, there's a spillway diversion channel right here. I don't even know if that's a diversion channel. What the heck am I looking at? See, I like figuring this stuff out. This is cool, man. Somebody thought of all this. I mean, you know, people just look at this and say, oh, that's just some skate park or something. No. This was like this for a reason. For a very good reason. I think we're looking at the overflow spillway for this reservoir. Yeah. Okay, Van Norman Bypass Reservoir. Got it. They covered it. Covered the reservoir so the water doesn't evaporate. That's yeah. Capped off reservoir, so it's working more like a cistern or something. Interesting. Yeah, see, look, this is all downstream from the freaking dump. Whoops. That's the reservoir with all the black balls. Yeah. Cool. Now, see, I'm wondering what's all this for? And why is it gridded reservoir? Upper Van Norman Lake. This is okay. I think I know what this is. So, all the water drains down, right? It'll fill this, and if that gets full, then it'll fill this. If that gets full, it'll fill that one. If that gets full, it'll fill this one. So you can hold it can hold a ton of water. You can hold an insane amount of it coming down this spillway right here. Wastewater? I don't know. I don't see a treatment plant around, but it definitely looks like we got a big power plant or a substation or something going on here. What the hell was this? There's a huge transformer right here. Look at this transformer array. This is definitely step up or step down. Look at all the power infrastructure. This was here for a reason. I'm not, it looks like there was a power plant here, but they got rid of it. If I'm looking at this right. See, what I'm doing right now, guys, is I'm collecting info in my head for how to build this aesthetically. The gridded stuff is usually wastewater. Not sure about this one, though. Yeah, Likes, that's what I'm thinking. What the heck is this? Hold on. All right. Can we street view this? There's no place you can go that's... There's a wastewater treatment plant. That's absolutely what that is. The filtration plant is like inches south of where you're at. Interesting. If you want to see some cool giant hose, look at Bingham Canyon Mine. I mean, yeah, definitely, but I'm not getting research from mines right now. But see, there's another levee that they made right there in this basin. Dude, see, like, this was all, someone thought of all that. And California, literally, like, Southern California survives off of this. Like, you're not, without any of this crap here, you don't have the city. The city doesn't exist. You're not supporting all this without something like that, which is pretty damn freaking cool to me. Like, dude, look at all the flood control that they have going on here in this valley. How you doing? I see the beard is gone. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Interesting. Oh, what do we got over here? More treatment plants. Now, oh, baseball field. All right. Now, fellas, I ain't trying to say that this huge treatment plant is here because some bonehead chose to make a landfill upstream of your spillway that you use for drinking water, but also, I'm not entirely sure that that's what happened here, but usually sewage treatment plants are downstream. Usually, i.e., this is like up on a hill compared to the rest of the city. See how elevated it is compared to the rest of like the urban area that's around it? Usually pumping all of that uphill to get to a sewage treatment plant doesn't make any sense. All the water goes downstream. It only goes in one direction. I mean, pumping it back uphill is not something that you usually see, but it does happen. LAPD's training center is on the south side of the reservoir. Oh, neat. Ocean Dash, that's what I'm thinking, dude. I'm thinking water is getting collected, basically washing itself through that damn landfill, coming down the spillway and getting into the water supply, and they had to do something about it, so they built that to take care of it. There's your training center right there for police department. Interesting. The gridded pond is the garbage runoff. Yeah, looks like California got itself into a right fine pickle with that one.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I mean, look, that's like I said, that's the reason why they're putting down all those non-permeable surfaces there, so you don't get leakage. They don't want leakage because it'll leak into the damn water supply. Hey, Judo, what's up, man? Any idea what they are doing here? I don't know, but yeah. Once again, fellas, I will get back to cities momentarily. Let's just check on our city. I want to do something like this over here because we have a river and stuff. I don't want to do the dump upstream. That sounds kind of stupid when you say it out loud, but I'm sure, you know, that was an aesthetic decision from the architects. Something. Sorry, but I'm guessing mission mode is on hold. Mission mode is on hold. Yes. No date. Don't worry about it. We will get back to playing Kerbal. I just really got to think about how I want to play KSP. But right now I want to play City, so we won't talk about that. Right? That is the MWG Jensen Water Treatment Plant. Cool. Cool. Okay, Baron, what are you showing me here? What the heck is this? Where are we, first of all? Politicians versus engineers, with engineers having to fix their politicians. No, Andrew, I don't think that went down like that, dude. Politicians aren't that smart to have the foresight. And to be honest, neither are engineers. My guess is that that dump was there before before the city grew to a point where they had to clean more water. Water demand went up. And if water demand goes up, right, you know, and you figure out that your water is getting contaminated, you're going to need something to not do that. Roll back time a bit. What is this from? This is from 1996? Really? It had some UK-inspired roads. Why would I put trash in my city? We're talking about getting trash away from the city, Judo. That doesn't look like a car racing track, to be honest. This looks like horse racing or something. It looks at, well, you know what it looks like? It looks abandoned. That's what it looks like. Car's still trash. Car? Which one? I have 7 of them. Did somebody map out a hiking trail in Google Earth? Like the entire hiking trail? Yeah, they did. Okay. Alright, we need to find more irrigation stuff. Oh, right here. Look, 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 look. What do we got here? That's definitely man-made. Look at the lake. Alright. I really wouldn't want to live here. You are, like, directly downstream from... Yeah. Yeah, see, they built out some more levee over here because the water was spilling down this, and then they stopped. Yeah, that dried that up. That drained into that estuary right there. There's a pit mine. Most likely for aggregates. Like concrete and sand and gravel and whatnot. There is a spillway, passive spillway that goes that way. Looks like that hasn't been used in a minute. Ah, yes, there's a Minecraft-style column of water. Yep. Makes sense. You don't trust the dam? Actually, you know, like, statics are, yeah, one of the most over-engineered things around. That, yeah. You need to, the only way that that thing is breaking is, if somebody intentionally did it, to be honest with you. But it still would give me the heebie-jeebies. I'm sure the people that live here don't give a frick. Because, like I said, it ain't gonna overflow. The passive spillway over here is designed to take the flow rate. So basically, this is just a little bit lower than the rim of that over there. And before that overflows, this will overflow. And it'll just pour all the water out this gully right here. Are we looking at LA? They're notorious for not having much of their own water. They're also notorious for going out and strong-arming, in some case outright taking other people's water and drying out otherwise wet area. Look up California waterways if you want more info. I'm well aware. I'm doing this because I want to build something like that on the map. And that's about it, dude. Nothing more. What the hell? There's a levee and a spillway, right? That's an emergency spillway, right? And there's an outcropping right here. It looks like they built another collection right here, and I'm not sure why. It's a collector for sure. There's another levee right there. Where the heck is all that water coming from? Where would all the water be coming from? There's a water tower right there. I'm really confused. Oh, there it is. Okay, I see it now. Not wise building your buildings next to that, but I'm sure... Yeah. Sure, it's fine. Let's not read into that at all. Where are we? We're still in Inland Empire? No, not really. Inland Empire's over there. Interesting. I believe that's a dry dam for flood control. It's possible. Something's going on over there, but... There's something else over here. Let's take a look. Once again, what I'm doing is I'm collecting reference, guys. I want to build something like this, but in order to build it, you gotta figure out what it looks like. I am not going to read too much into that. It read that I'm sure that's fine, and that's of nothing of concern. Motocross track. All right. Let's just, okay. You know, I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure that's there for a very good reason. And it's like that. This is runoff. Gotta be runoff, dude. Looks like they're drying out brine for mineral extraction. That's where they get the orange crush from. Oh, yeah. Interesting. Okay. But you know what the crazy thing is? I'm pretty sure I've been up that road. Right there. I'm pretty sure Ernok and I drove up this road. Drove right past this. I'm pretty sure. Like Matthews. What do we got going on over here? Whatever that is, that spillway was built for the bicentennial. Why are there X's on it? Is that a helicopter landing pad on the emergency spillway? Looks like you made a swamp here and not much else. Okay. Okay. That's where you live, Norco? Cool. Right on, man. Compared to a lithium mine? Yeah, okay, I got you. Could be registration points to monitor for deformation. Yeah, where's that one at? That's going into Anaheim. Oh, that's Coronita. All right. In Corona. That's in Corona, California. Okay. We got another one right here. What about this one? Man, when they built this, they really built these levees high. They built for like absolute worst case scenario here. Man, these frickers really knew what they were doing, man. That's pretty smart. All the spillways and stuff, all the diversionary channels. I mean, these levees are all way high. I mean, I understand drought in California recently. I get it, but I mean, it's fixing itself slowly. Yeah, see, like, look at this one. This isn't like, yeah, flood control basins. Yep. Now, we're gonna need flood control basins for a different reason. Tsunamis. So we're gonna have to do this backwards on top of this. But, yeah, this is all flood control. Got it. That's why these are all dried up. It's designed to divert the water. More aggregate stuff. Yeah, I kind of want to keep it LA themed, Joe, but I'm sure that's really cool. It's freaking everywhere, dude. See, there's another dam. And then there's another one behind it. Interesting. Interesting. Dude, this is fascinating stuff, man. We gotta build this. Let's build stuff like this, dude. Now, how are we gonna do this? Let's think. How do we apply what we've seen here? I know about that, Doom. It's right where the 514 interchange. Berm designed for slow release on overflow. Yep. You can do passive spillways. That's totally doable. See over here, guys? I want one of those like right here. Look. Let me get the terrain topography up. See? You have a downhill, and then you have into an open flat area right here. I want to build a gigantic freaking berm right here. Build a gigantic berm, right? But see, if we do that, right, if we build something out that goes like from here to here to here, or, you know, maybe we could make it go this way, and then that way, and then over here. If we did something like that, we'd have to relocate the entire highway. We'd need to build up a good amount of capital for that. But you got to remember, the whole idea here is to put in a hydroelectric dam that will offset our city's power. Like, we could put a hydro dam that'll offset power generation to basically make this place generate tons of power for a really long period of time. Orville. I know about the Orville one, Jermaine. Yeah. Actually, believe it or not, dude, back in 2017, I did a cities build because, I mean, the Orville Dam got a little politicized, which is a little bit, I mean, what doesn't nowadays, right? And people kept mentioning it when I was playing cities for whatever reason, which is very strange, right? People kept mentioning it, and I know all about the spillway and what happened because of deferred maintenance, etc., etc. They did rebuild it, and that's great. I'm really happy that they did. The crazy thing to me is that people kept asking me about it. So, you know, I was like, you know, let's in cities, let's mess with this. Let's try to make this. Let's try to make a passive spillway, because we were reading about the control spillway right here, and then the emergency spillway over here. So the Orville Dam has a flood control spillway right here. It's a hydroelectric dam, to be sure, right? It generates power, but there's also a control spillway. The control spillway right here is basically designed for if the water gets too high, they will let some water downstream. They also do that for irrigation purposes. This is where I learned, actually, the Orville Dam is where I learned about all of California's flood control systems, right? Yeah, see, they have a catch spillway down here. Once again, all berms. See that? They have a catch spillway. If they drain too much. Now, if the overflow dam hits capacity, right? It can't make any more. There's an emergency spillway over here. And a lot of infrastructure in California has something like this, right? If the water level gets too high, it'll start overflowing. And it'll start flowing down this hill, which is why you see nothing over here. Because you don't want to put your house right in front of an emergency spillway. Right? But that's the overflow there. And the control spillway is right here. If we go back in time and look... Yeah, Orville Dam had a little bit of a problem. If we go back to 2017, I said if we go back to 2017, yeah, it had a little bit of an issue. The spillway eroded. Yeah, it was not great. And then they rebuilt it. It became this huge thing about deferred maintenance and public infrastructure and whatnot, which I tried to make into a learning moment, Jermaine, right? I tried to make it into a teaching moment. Why does this exist? Why does that dam the way it is? Why does California have so many freaking dams? And in order to answer that question, I had to go read about all this and how it happened and how they made it. It's actually super smart. Really smart piece of kit right here. That dam is the reason why if you live on the West Coast, you have food. That's the short story. Yeah. The dam catches rainwater. Rainwater only happens during the floods, during the raining season, basically during the wintertime, right? All the water drains from all these mountains and it gets caught right there. The dam meters the flow rate, and the flow rate feeds all of those farms that grow your food if you live on the West Coast. There's a basin here, the Inland Basin in California. I don't even know if that's what it's called. It goes from Redding to Bakersfield. See that? If you live on the West Coast, that's most likely where your produce is coming from. Like right up in here. See this whole thing? Yeah, that is a breadbasket. That feeds the entire West Coast. Yeah, so you can actually look, if you see them from space, look at all the dams that they put so farmers can grow year round. Smart. Real smart. That's super cool. And like I said, if you live on the West Coast, yeah, that dam exists so you can eat. Eating food is good. That's preferable. We like doing that. This was a desert. Yep. You go one quote-unquote valley over. You go into the high desert in Palmdale where the space shuttles are made. That's what this looked like before they did that. The Sacramento and San Joaquin Valleys, collectively known as the Central Valley. There you go. Pretty cool, huh? These guys, everything gets grown in here. Anything and everything. You can grow year round. There's no season essentially here. Yeah. We should probably do something about that, Aqualux, but nobody will. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Yeah, just build the dam on a fault line. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure that won't end well at all. I'm sure that'll end well. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, talk about some pretty cool stuff, right? I mean, look, it's even on the other side of these mountains. See them right there? There's another control here. And once again, all the spillways drain into here. And then from there, all the water goes downstream. In this particular case, I think that water actually drains into the bay. So it actually goes up here and down here, and it drains into San Francisco Bay, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that that's probably what's going on there. You're missing something like 10 years or so. Huh? Hang on a second, fellas. I smell something burning. I think one of my neighbors has a fire going, but I'm just gonna go outside and be sure. Oh, cue me the beard. Oh, I thought you were talking about the dams. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? I'll be right back. Yep, neighbors just burning brush. Cool. Alright, we good. Fascinating story if you've never read up on how the Salton Sea ended up there. Yeah, the Salton Sea was the result of somebody trying to control the Colorado River and failing miserably. You know, in cities, I mean, Jim, I know you know, but you guys know in city skylines, if you don't get a dam right, or you fill in too much terrain, and you accidentally make a tidal wave of water, and that tidal wave of water goes somewhere, and it most likely goes where you don't want, that is exactly what happened with the Salton Sea. Yeah. Okay, so let's think about this. Let's look at our topography here. Now, I don't think we need to build on fault lines or anything. The topography is suggesting building it over here, but the thing is that there's an oil deposit right there. But then again, we got a huge oil deposit right here. Hello, Chuck. The very first one you found was the best, all the way back in the LA River. That would have been this one. Or that one. I mean, ours is going to end up looking like this. But bypass reservoirs, spillways, floodways, stuff like that, we're going to need stuff like this. We can use this for reference, especially because it's got the 5 next to it. That's a huge federal highway right there. We don't really have a lot of cash, though. This project is going to be immense. And once again, it might require relocation of the highway. Yeah. Farming, yeah, Alex, yeah, what happened to the Salton Sea? It's fun. Yeah, farming, industrial runoff. Farming industrial farming is just that. It's industrial. Yeah. So you get industrial runoff from farming, and Salton Sea wasn't supposed to be there in the first place, right? So yeah. Weird. Yeah, the more and more I think about this, guys, the more and more I think we should build right here. But we could also, a case could be made to also build a gigantic one over here with that water source if we really wanted to. I mean, why not both? We could do both of those. Why is my camera tilted? How did that happen? Why are we rolled right? Go into flight sim mode? Yeah, we'll just land in here. Alright. Go. Did that reset my camera? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Let's do something like this. We can make that happen. I mean, honestly, right here would be the spot to make it. Right there. But if we do that, once again, we're covering up the damn oil supply, which then again, we kind of have... It's like this building out here. You could also do a view reset tilt. Alright, that's good. Thanks, Lex. I'm looking at the topography, guys. You don't really get much topography over here. We got a basin. There's a huge basin right here, so... So the more I'm looking at this, dudes, the more I'm thinking the right move is to make the highway. Oh God. The highway is not graded correctly. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. It's fine. We could make the highway, we could cut the highway into the mountain right here, right? Cut it into the mountain along this path right there. Like that. And we could do, we're gonna need to do it with the train tracks as well. All right, we could cut it into the mountain, make it follow the mountainside. Right, and bridge the gap right here. And then we could have it. Of course, the damn train tracks go over it. We could have it come down over here. Train tracks are going to need to do a crisscross. Looking at the grade at a grading crack. I don't need it. I don't need it. I definitely don't. I need it. Anyway. We can make the road kind of circle this way and then connect in with the pre-existing over here. I don't need it. And right there is where we'll make the road divert. It'll go up the hill right here and then it'll turn. So diverting this highway, right? Once the highway is diverted, look, it makes a cove. See how it kind of curves around like this? Right there is where we'll make this happen. We'll make the levee, and the levee will go, or the dam, I should say. It can basically go out here, and over there. But then again, the oil deposit is right there. The oil, you know, there's oil in the ground. So we could make it go this way, right? I got it. I know what we can do. Okay, hear me out. I got it. So, have this thing drain into a gigantic levee right here. The levee can go here. It can go out like this. It'll curve right over here, and then it'll curve back in. Like right here, basically making this entire area into a, see, you could see it right there? This area, we can make that into a gigantic lake. We do have to be cognizant of how much water we put into the lake. The reason why we got to be careful with something like that is because if you make the lake too big, the dam will never work. The water will evaporate out of the lake before the dam hits capacity. So we got to take that into account, right? But we could make this go all the way over here, right? And we could follow, we could have the levee go out here, over here like this, and then it could go back, right? And then the outside walls of the levee could follow right here. And now, the old riverbed, right? We could make that into our emergency spillway. So if it overflows, right? If for whatever reason we hit max capacity for our dam, right? We'll have an emergency overflow. And this can become the spillway. Now, simultaneously, what we can do is we're gonna end up having a Gigantor freaking dam right here, right? That Gigantor dam is gonna need an emergency spillway as well. Or it's gonna need a waterway, right? Now, how are we gonna do that? Not sure how we're gonna make those levees work, because I can't make a dam that's kind of straight on like this that generates power. Can we? We can't really do that. Airport. Gonna have to come up with something creative. Can you make your own maps and cities? Yeah, I needed to, Clayton, to make my Florida map. You were here for that, remember? To make the Epcot map on. Do the thunderstorms cause heavy rain, which causes flooding? No, they don't, which is kind of lame. I kind of wish they did, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that would be bad for like the casual city player. All right, so we're building up 85 Gs, which is great. I was gonna say, man, you were here for that. Meantime, I'll plan out what we want for over here. We can expand our residential areas. That's about as far as we want to go for over here. Those grids came in pretty good with the exception of that, but we can put fences or a footpath or whatever. Let's see, does a fence do its job there? Yeah, kind of. Actually don't mind the fences. That's actually pretty cool. Fences, I think we have more precise control with them. Build that in front of the damn grid? Yeah, that was a good call on fences, guys. Good. You have that look in your eye. What are you cooking up with those fences? It's just a way to make the grids more concurrent, dude. Also, don't call me out like that again. An example of things they should have done for CS2. Yeah, I know. It's weird, right? Alright, so the first thing to work on would be diverting the highway, but we don't... There's no way we have the cash for that. So what I'm gonna do is we'll start building out... start building out over here. What do we have demand for? We have demand for industry. Yeah, there is Aqualux up. I'm sure there is. But don't worry about that. You could also just put parking lots in there too. It deleted my fence. Hey! That's my fence! I take offense to that. Remember, Chad, don't take offense to it. Make offense to it. No. No, wait. You know what? Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's do 3x4. Let's see what that gets us for industry. That, of course, isn't gonna it's not gonna line up correctly, but they're gonna end up having a 2x2 industry over there. But zoning 4x2 gives us this kind of industry. 4x4 gives us, just clicking the zoning gives us this. That don't look too bad. The Patriots should learn more offense. Why are you putting a kappa after facts? Brent, I don't understand. What, is that supposed to piss me off? They suck. They're terrible. It's not even like... Dude, it's not even like, oh, they suck. They're difficult to watch, dude. It's not enjoyable in the slightest. Like, it's just... They're just difficult to watch. Like, I don't even want to watch. It's like watching Ferrari in Formula 1. It's just difficult to watch. I don't even bother watching the races anymore. I know Ferrari ain't winning. You know? Drake May's the GOAT. He did pretty good, dude. Passed for about 300 yards. Just great. That's good, man. Kid has promise, dude, but... He can't carry the team by himself. Been a passer in 25 years. It's tough, dude. Yeah, no. Me too, man. Been with following the Patriots since before the Kraft owned them, dude. Because that's my team. It's my local team. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. Some of the decisions that Vrabel made, David, was just... Why? You're down. You go, like, at the end of the second half, dude, you know, we have an offensive drive. It doesn't make it. We're down by a touchdown. You know, it's the end of the, it's the end of the half. Why? Why? Go for it on fourth and what? What are you going to lose? No, the guy decides to punt. I'm like, why? Why are you punting? Go for it, dude. Take a freaking risk. Let's go. Any space news today? Yeah, space news will start at 5. There's actually some pretty big space news, Make, with SpaceX. SpaceX bought a bunch of operating frequency licenses from EchoStar. Actually, I don't know the full details. They bought frequencies licenses for direct-to-cell satellites. That's the short version. We'll get into more detail in a second, but when space news starts. But they bought it for $17 billion, which is not a small amount of money. He'll figure it out, I hope. Yeah, me too, man. Gotta take more risks than that, dude. That's not even like playing conservative, David. That's just, bro, that's what you should do. You have to do that. Yeah, you have nothing to lose. Just go. Yeah, this is RCI, Alex. Residential, commercial, industrial. This shows you what your city needs. Right now, my city needs a little bit more industry than anything, which is why I zoned over here. I work for EchoStar, aka Dish Network here in Denver, right out of high school as a retail call analyst. There you go. Yeah, SpaceX buying those frequencies is a big deal for multiple reasons. They spent more on that than they have on the entire Starship program. Do we know that for sure, Bargon? Your old headquarters is where the SpaceX rocket is here in Denver on display. Everyone at NSF seems to think that. Just generally curious if any of my boys over there tallied up some numbers. So, I have a plan. We have more or less a plan what we want to do here. The first big thing is diverting this highway and those train tracks. There's no way we're going to do this without doing that. We have to. Like, that's just, there's no way that we're going to do it otherwise. The EchoStar deal explains why your ASD Space Mobile stock opened down 8% this morning. Ooh. Any mods to give John Doe a link perms? Hey, Embry, what's going on? When I worked in West Waco, Texas for 12 years, I heard SpaceX shake our building so often. Nice. Driving that far from one town to another doesn't have that much effect on performance or income. No, not really. I mean, eventually, because the trucks don't get fuel economy in Cities 1. They do in Cities 2, though, which was one of the awesome features that I really, really liked from City Skylines 2. Trucks have to fill up. They have gas stations. They have to go to the gas stations. And if it's longer, it's going to cost you more if it's a longer distance. I thought that was one of the most righteous game mechanics from Cities 2. It's really cool. How goes the mayoring? What's up, man? It's going good. Putting the fences down so we get nice concurrent grids. Don't want anything like that. That'll work. That will also work. Good. Hey, Quartz. Welcome back. What's going on? Note, just on a side note, guys, like I'm letting the city do its thing. When we've been looking through like Google Earth and stuff, I've been unpaused. I'm just letting the city accrue money. Sometimes the best thing you can do once you get to a good point where you're making some good cash, just let your city do its thing. Go plan another part of the city. Plan another district. It ain't no thing. It's no problem. I don't like how close that fence is to the road. Go plan other parts of the city. Be fine. Oh, eventually we unlock the anchovy fishing harbor. And then the salmon fishing harbor. And then shellfish. Then tuna. And then fish farm? Okay. In case you missed it above, apparently the zoning grid remover tool is stock in CS1 now. Couldn't remember, dude. That's why I said. These fish market takes fresh fish from the harbors and farms and sells it directly to customers without processing. Well, what is that? Fish factory takes fresh fresh fish from harbors and farms and turns them into canned fish, which is delivered to shops and commercial zones. You can make fish sticks. Don't change your running system. What is that in regards to? Right? I was talking about letting the city do its thing. Yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly. Just let it do its thing. Let it do. Oh, nice, Clayton. Will the salmon fishermen catch a submarine like they did in Puget Sound? I don't know. I can neither confirm nor deny that that happened. We have fish and fish accessories, boy. All right, let's check that fish factory. Takes fish from harbors and farms and turns them into canned fish, which is delivered to shops and commercial zones. Production 8,000 units per week. Freight truck count 12. Water 400 cubic meters. Electricity 960 kilowatts. 400 a week upkeep. Cost 25K. Spend it. Made that to get more to avoid that. That road is not completely straight. Get rid of it. There we go. Where's that old Deer Tay road? There we go. Perfect. Looks like we're gonna need more fish. So once again, building up capital for that long-term project, for the big project, for the residential dam, that's more of a, need more soil. That's more of a later game thing. What I will do is use that soil that I have to, well, we'll use that to make our passageway here. For the highway. What map is this? It's called Rosalind Peninsula? Yeah, see, that's using up that soil pretty quick. But I have to be so careful because this is going to cost me a lot of money. And we have no money. Cool. Neat. I will remake that later. This just in. Mayor spends 100% of the city's coffers on dirt. Are you making Palm Tree neighborhood? No. No, absolutely not. This isn't Dubai. I don't want it to look like that. Even though that's kind of cool. I'm not doing that. I'm making another fishing port right here. Because what is the fishing port's maximum? This produces... It doesn't even say. Well, it's very clear we need more. This is Yaksville. Yeah, I wanted to mess with the fishing stuff because I frankly never have. Match the height. Okay, so now they need a fishing route. Oh look, you're gonna fish right next to the other guys that fish. Look at you fishing. We gotta increase our water to 100% capacity. Come on, go up. There we go. Perfect. What about schools? We are over capacity on elementary, so... Perfect. Power. Power generation's right on the nominal range. Little spot for a pier later. You read my mind, dude. Anarchy mode. Still no fish? Oh, we're making fish. Yeah. I think. See, look at that. Actually, it probably would have been better to put all of these on those. Could we attach that to that? Yes, you can. But I like this. I like this way better. This way is much nicer. And I also hate how that asset has the street with it. I wish it was just place it and then you have to place the road next to it, or you have to, you know, I don't know. I don't like that. I like zoning it this way because it gives me a certain type of... The 4x2 lots give you a certain type of house that I think looks really cool. Smells fishy. Hey, Anti-Senpai, what's up? Man, time flew by. It's pretty much time for space news. Alright, guys. Well, we have a plan. We put it in action. We are going to need to redo that highway, but actually that was most of the terrain movement that we needed to do. We'll start on this project with the levee and the reservoir and the hydropower and stuff. We'll start on that next time we play. You got yourself BB55. The USS North Carolina. Yeah. North Carolina, and its sister ship was the Washington, I think. And then 5.6, 5.7, 5.8, and 5.9 were South Dakotas. And then 6.0, 6.1, 6.2, and 6.3 are Iowas. Cool. Is that enough for a fish factory? Raiden, I'm not sure we have enough here for that, but they are out fishing the waters. Alright, cool. Guys, I hope you enjoyed part 2 for Yaksville. We got a plan. And it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a pretty awesome plan when it's done. Is CS2 in a bad place? No, not necessarily. I just feel like playing Cities 1. All right, that was fun looking at all the reference. But I think we got it once again. I think we got water. I was about to say I think we got a good idea of what we want. But I'm gonna take a quick break here. Hey, Slick Six, what's up? I'm gonna take a quick break here, shift gears, and we will start space news at the top of the hour in about 15 minutes. So Yeah, it was a 6-1 through 6-4. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was off by one. We covering the launch today. If there's a launch, I mean, Cherokee, the rule of thumb is that if there's a launch during, if there is a launch during my regular streaming hours, yeah, absolutely. If it's not during my regular streaming hours, it's TBD. But yeah, of course, man. We got the new Centaur Lima, which is another mission to New Centaur Satu, if I'm remembering right. I'd have to look. I'm going to go do some research about that right now. But I will see you guys back here in about 15 minutes for Space News. Just going to get up, walk around for a second. On YouTube, this VOD will end. So I hope you enjoyed part 2, but another one will start up when Space News starts. So I'll see you guys in a second. Be right back.